So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing. Gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart. And Alana, she's so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies. And they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter. The lies are sweet. Tried everything. I guess me and YAHANNA had to meet. Now I make the blind see. And I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time. This Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Should call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm Lord to the King. Until the righteous reign. Lord to the King. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the King. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the King. Straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the King. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the King. Bring that hot when you became Lord to the King.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived, they don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory, they don't know how I did it. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid circle, tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin on kindness. I don't trust you, so small. You can keep your feet smoked, dog. So I brought these chimney swings. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, you know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told him I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got choppers stash in the attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like ball cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show the skills, how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I headphones up just a little bit. Yeah.
So what we out with them? 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 So what we out.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east, turn to the east. I used to wake up every morning, boy, and all I seen was mess. Plus the shit that I was dealing with, all I seen was stress. Now I really know the truth, and I understand what hurting niggas. Beast of the fields, they eat us up, and they hurting you. I.S.U.P.K is what I'm repping. Siamese a weapon. Some of you niggas playing, but me, I'm really stepping. The mission that I'm on is waking up all our people. Show them we are the greatest. Nothing about a sequel. Them heathens, they gon' learn. Them heathens, they gon' burn. Esau is about to fall, then Jacob is all turned. They been fucking with the chosen, so they gotta pay. Revelation 13 and 10, tell me what does it say? So I be out with them. 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 When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. The blood that's in my veins descends straight from the greatest. All of my tools is go, but that 40 know it's my favorite. And we losing all our babies to this crazy shit we represent. The money and the world, nigga, this crazy shit ain't making sense. We the children of the light, and we fighting all the darkness. The way I'm stacking ammo, my bitches thinking I'm heartless. Them devils get the smile and got you thinking that he harmless. Remember Oklahoma? That is where them cracker bombs. The pain will make you wake up. You know they really hate it. They turn the truth into a lie. That's the shit they gotta pay for. The mission that I'm on is waking up all our people. Show them we are the greatest. Nothing about a sequel. Yeah. So I be out with them. 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 When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east, turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east, turn to the east, turn to the east.
You understand? You done found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and we don't care who we got to come up against. You ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of truth to this tree of life. Open up the book just to see I'm right. Reminiscing on my ancestors, on those ships who had to plead for life. Took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Poisoning our foods and put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cause. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite, sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, they'd rather link a chick tonight. Praises to the Most High, I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it because we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite. Die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites. Cry for my Israelites. Going through it because we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Want to be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim. Homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms. Never getting treatment, something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream of light. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love, their reflection. No matter what the complexion, we got a common connection. A part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection. Through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Refresh your space with a mid-century makeover at Ashley. Discover vibrant and bolts that are inspired by the past.
Track slammers.
Check, 144. Hey, 144. 144. 144. I'm calling my soldiers. It's that time. I'm calling my soldiers. Let's get in line. Hey, 144. 144. 144. That boy killed that thing up. I'm calling my soldiers. It's that time. I'm calling my soldiers. Let's get in line. Hey. Babylon is falling and we praying for it every day. Change up the game, I had to find myself a better way. People out here struggling cause they can't seem to find a way. Kids don't go outside no more cause it ain't even safe to play. People out here waking up but they don't know which way to turn. Open up them holy scriptures, breaking down so they can learn. Devils out here feel like Usher, I suggest you let them burn. If they get to asking questions, you just tell them it's our turn. Move like Christ, live like Christ. I'm just trying to get it right. Walk by faith, not by sight. Keep the law, my guiding light. Move like Christ, live like Christ. I'm just trying to get it right. Walk by faith, not by sight. Keep the law, my guiding light. 144. 144. I'm calling my soldiers. It's that time. I'm calling my soldiers. Let's get in line. 144. 144. 144. 44. I'm calling my soldiers. It's that time. I'm calling my soldiers. Let's get in line. Get in line. Hey. Wrote the verse until begin to hit the page. I'm turning to the east whenever I start to pray. This for my soldier, my comrades, no comment, just real men that walking right in the spirit. When the Lord speaks, they hear it. This real life when we bring it, this real truth that we slang it. We seen the pictures they painted, our history they change it, and everything been tainted. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of it. So get rid of it. And I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of it. Move like Christ, live like Christ. I'm just trying to get it right. Walk by faith, not by sight. Keep the law, my guiding light. Move like Christ, live like Christ. I'm just trying to get it right. Walk by faith, not by sight. Keep the law, my guiding light. 144, 144, 144, 144. I'm calling my soldiers. It's that time. I'm calling my soldiers. Let's get in line. Get in line. 144, 144, 144, 144. I'm calling my soldiers. It's that time. I'm calling my soldiers. Let's get in line. Get in line. Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, is pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in the tenant truck. Riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's with the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options. Used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings all feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. But at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. She get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Send that hate, make it to the featherweight. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a stepper and a roller. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick break. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gunshot. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Niggas swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died. Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim me riding, that's why I left his ass.
Check. Here we go. Check. Let's clap it up. Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem El Shabbat, the thumb to my brothers. Yahweh Shem Allah, the thumb by Shem Yahweh Shah to my sisters. With the I.S.U.P.K, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, operating under the leadership of Commander General YAHANNA. We're not affiliated with no other Israelite group, Muslim mosque, Christian church. You understand? Whatever you have it out there, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we stand on our own toes, our own merit. We've been bringing this truth out since 1969. That blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Israelites of the Bible. You understand? Despite of whatever we've been told, despite of whatever you've heard, we are the greatest people on the face of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? Tonight is the Friday night. In a form of fashion, what we do is it is the Lashawan Qadash. You understand? Meaning the holy tongue. You understand what I'm saying? Or you can say language. You understand? We go over things that of how we communicated, you understand, amongst each other, you understand, before the Tower of Babel, you understand, before, you know, our language had got confounded, before we got bastardized with this English and things like that. At one point in time, blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people, we actually had a language that we spoke, which was Hebrew. You understand what I'm saying? Give me the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. You understand? I got some new stuff I want to bring out tonight. You know, Lil Willie. You understand what I'm saying? We gonna rock this thing out, man. If y'all got any questions, put it in the group chat. You understand? Or raise your hand, of course. You understand? We gonna rock out.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, right? So we know this is Paul speaking, right? You understand? Paul wrote a letter to blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people that were scattered in Corinth, right? And he said, though I speak with the tongues of men and the tongues of angels, you understand? Well, we know this is why this class is called the Lashawan Qadash, because this is the holy tongue, right? So even Paul was saying that he was bilingual, you understand? Because like he said, he speak with the tongues of man, which would be what? It would be English. It would be like Spanish. You understand what I'm saying? Things like that. But the tongues of the angels would be what? Hebrew. You understand? We know even Christ, he spoke Hebrew. You understand? We read where Peter, it's like not Peter, but Paul spoke Hebrew. You understand? And the things when we read in the Old Testament, we know the Old Testament was written in the Hebrew. So even Paul said, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have what? Read on.
And have not charity, I am become a sounding brass.
And have not charity, I'm becoming a sounding brass. You understand what I'm saying? So Paul, you know, he was letting you know, Leah, I can speak all these languages, but if you don't have no brotherhood, then what the hell does it matter? You understand? So we're going to get right into it, right? So we're going to use, you understand, Big Bottles eloquently writing. You understand? I think he said he was ADHD or something, ADD. But anyway, with that being said, so this is the ancient, right? With the ancient, we got ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, kaya, ta, la, ka, la, mana, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, ta, right? And we know when it comes to writing in the Assyrian, you understand what I'm saying? We got the same thing. I want to kind of go ahead and get straight into my lesson with everything. If we ain't got no questions online, okay. All right, so well, all right. So, question for the class, right? How many disciples did Christ have? Y'all know? Y'all know? Where the scholars at? Where we at with it? How many disciples did Christ have? The main ones. Y'all know? Y'all don't know? Oh, we. Well, let me find out. I found a question to stump y'all with now. Huh? And I want y'all to tell me in Hebrew. Okay, Sister Wawa. Sister Juanita, but I want you to tell me that number in Hebrew. This is Hebrew class, so let's use Hebrew. You understand? I said scan. You understand? So tell me how many. You got it? You about to say it? Oh. How many? Now, you okay? Y'all see? Y'all see what she put up there? Now tell me that number in Hebrew. Uh-oh. What we got? What we got? Hold on. Let me look for the other word. I don't think disciples is in the Old Testament.
Salaki.
What's up?
Is it a Qadash?
La. There's one more under it.
Salakia.
What's up?
Is it Shanya?
Shana what?
Shanya.
What? Now let her get it. Let her get it. Shana what?
Shanya I.S.U.P.K.
Give him a head. It must be the pro. You know what I'm saying? God, it's Shania I.S.U.P.K. Okay, so we do got a Isaiah 8:16 says, "Behold, I and the children whom the Lord have given me are for signs and for wonders, are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts." That is not. Oh, Salakia. Verse 16. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. So we're going to look up the word disciples real quick. So, that's kind of heavy. Well, damn. But is that plural? Hold on, y'all. Give me, bear with me. So we got, I'll write that right first. So you said Shania. Well, these markers be going out fast. Well. Okay. Oh yeah, shout out sister Juanita in the building. You have a Shamala thought about Shimmy Awashai. Let me see. Y'all bear with me. I gotta find a damn marker that's gone. Okay. Shania Aishura. Hold on. Shania Aishura. Now I want to ask y'all this. Like I said, y'all gonna be answering the questions for me tonight too. What is the word for learn? Learn. What is the word for learn? I'm gonna show y'all something that's why I say it was kind of heavy. What I seen, like learn. Good. Lamar, give her a hand. Damn right. That's right. Right. So for the word for learn, right? Oh, there we go. That's why I couldn't find my joint. The word for learn, right? Do we know what a disciple is? Y'all know what a disciple is? Go ahead, young man.
Follower.
It is a follower. You're right. But it's a certain word that's in the lineage of learn. To learn something, you have to be a what?
A student.
Give him a hand. That's right. So the 12 disciples would have been what? The 12 students, right? So that's why I say it's heavy, because the word for learn is lamad, like my sister Kay said, right? So now I need to get the context of it, because it says lamawadia, right? So like balamadia. So we're gonna say lamadium. Lamadium. So we're gonna put lamad la mad yum, which says 12 disciples, right? Shanya Aishara Lamajim, right? Meaning the 12 disciples, meaning what? The 12 students or the 12 learned men, right? You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, I told y'all gonna be answering some questions for me, right? We ain't gotta all yell this out at once. All right, give me just a second. But I want y'all to tell me, get in y'all mind, right? We're gonna write it down. How some of the disciples. Salaki. All right, so yeah, I want to know one of the disciples. The first one, I want y'all to tell me. We should all know. You understand? Well, we don't say that Shabbat Shalom, Kahan. You telling me to rest in peace, brother. Good night. You know, Shabbat means rest and Shalom is peace. So when you put that together, you just told me to rest in peace. With that being said, dang, I'll put my marker. Who could tell me a disciple? Who the? Right, right, exactly. Good night. For real. I hope you don't know something I don't know. That'd be devastating. For real. What you got, yeah, man, Kevin?
Paul.
Not quite. Not quite. He followed Christ, right? But he wasn't of the 12. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about the cops. The main one. Everybody should know this. Who did Christ say that I'm gonna place this rock upon you of this rock? I'm gonna build my church.
Slovakia.
What's up?
Is it Yahushua?
Who?
Yahushua.
Yahushua was not a disciple. He was the ones that people followed. The disciples followed. That's a good try.
Slovakia is one of them the prophecies and Pharisees.
You said what the Pharisees and Sadducees? Nah. The 12 disciples. See, I'm glad we having this class tonight. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think, like I said, this is something that is important, right? So I'm gonna give you a scripture. I want y'all to tell me, right? So let me see. Talmud? What is Talmud? Oh, Talmud. Okay, I see you could. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 18. I don't know. Did he say that? Okay, yeah.
Salaki. said Matthew 16 and 17.
Yeah, go ahead. You can read it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 17. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar.
What was it? Is that Matthew 16 and 18?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 18.
Oh, that was the KJV.
And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter.
Thou art who?
Peter.
Thou who?
Peter.
So who is one of the disciples of Christ?
Peter.
Thank you. Most High Christ. Go ahead.
And upon this rock I will build my church.
Right.
And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
So what I learned is with learning this, because as I teach y'all, I have to learn myself, right? What I learned is Peter's name meant that. You understand? So what I'm saying is, right, when we talk about, you understand, like we know anytime that someone was given their name, we would know what the name meant whenever it said it. It was like, for example, Jacob, his name was changed to Israel. And it says, you understand, because thou hast prevailed and have power with men and angels, right? So when we talk about it in that aspect, you understand that was the name that he was given. And then that was the understanding of that specific name as well. So when you think about it, right, like a lot of times when a brother's given his name, he's you understand, he's basically given the meaning of the name. So Peter's name, you understand, would be rock. Well, besides Allah being a damn rock, we don't have a Hebrew word for rock, right? So this will be his name in the Hebrew, right? A bun, right? A bun would be Peter's name in the Hebrew, right? So like I said, we're going to just write, if you could, yeah, man, Kevin, I want you to, I'm going to give you a chance, you know, to write these down and stuff, but I just want you to rock with me for a little bit, right? So give me Matthew chapter 4, verse 18. These are the men that we're going to find that follow Christ closely. You understand? And then, right, we always was told that, you understand, I'm going to read this before you get there, yeah, man, Kevin. I'm going to read this one myself. You understand? Because I just want you to stay where you at. So this is the book of John, right? And every Christian, once y'all, you know, young brothers become officers, y'all gonna hear these same scriptures being brought out. Y'all gonna hear these same breakdowns to try to prove that Christ didn't come for just Israel or blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people. They're gonna try to read these things and say, oh, see, Christ came for other people. So this is John 1 and 10, right? It says, he was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not, right? He came into his own received him not. So a Christian will stop there and close the whole book and say, see, he came into his own, and his own received him not. But the thing that they didn't read was verse 11. Verse 11 says this, right? He came, so like verse 12, but as many as received him, who was the ones that received him? These 12 that we're talking about, right? Remember, Christ had what, about 5,000 people, if I'm not mistaken, following him. A lot of them left when he said, this is the body, break and eat. This is my blood that is shed for the New Testament. You understand? Drink of this. You understand? But he was showing the symbolicness of, you understand, brotherhood. You understand? Because he said, what? Do this in remembrance of me. You understand what I'm saying? So we know there was a lot of people that rejected Christ after he said that, but those 12 still stayed there. You understand? And these are the men that we're going to be talking about tonight. All right. So reading on, or finishing off reading, like he said, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God. Ooh, that's Yashala in the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? His name means he is the prince of the power. Even to them that believe on his name. Right? So give me that scripture that I asked you for, brother.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 18. And Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter.
Simon called Peter. So we just showed you who Peter was, right? You understand? You see how, like, Simon's, like, not Hebrew name, but Simon's name in the world was, or Peter's name in the world was Simon, right? But then you got his name, his Hebrew name, you understand, was what? Keep reading, Salaki.
And Andrew, his brother.
No, you said Simon called what?
Simon called Peter.
So we know when we read it in the Hebrew, his name would be Abun, which means stone, right? Read on.
And Andrew.
And who?
Brother. Andrew.
That's the next brother that we're going to talk about. Read on.
His brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers.
They were fishers. Remember, y'all remember in the scriptures, right? Whenever we had read, you know, when it talked about, it said what? Christ gave the parable. You understand? He said, I'm going to make you fishers of men, right? And then after them fishers, we're going to become what? Hunters. You understand what I'm saying? But now we're in the fishing method of what we're doing with this truth. You understand what I'm saying? So like we said, we are going to be made fishers of men, but now it's like we're going to be made hunters, but now we're fishing, right? So the next one is Andrew. And the word for Andrew is batak. 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 All right, which means security. And now I just speak as a man when I say this, right? But what is another word that a police has? It starts with a B and it sounds kind of like batak.
A baton?
A baton, right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I speak as a man when I say that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's where they got that from. All right. Now, who can tell me who was Jesus's I don't think this is the one. So Jesus had a brother. Who can tell me who's Jesus' brother name? What Jesus' brother name was? Y'all know? Now this is a different one, so I'm not gonna say that. But it was two of them, right? Y'all know who Jesus' brother? You know who Jesus' brother was? Who Jesus' brother was?
Was one of Christ?
Who?
Christ?
Christ? Was Christ Jesus? That's Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ. He said Christ. That's a good try though, brother. Give my brother a hand, man. Word up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some good hold. No, I ain't gonna say that word, but y'all know what I mean. You gotta be strong. You understand, to be trying to answer some questions in here, right? You know what I mean? But I give it for y'all. It's a book in the Bible, right? But this ain't the brother that I'm talking about, because he's not the specific brother. It's a different brother. But his name was James, right? James. All right. So the name for James, which is, it kind of threw me off with this, and I ain't gonna lie, I was like, damn, I didn't even know that. All right. So James, all right, is YAHANNA. YAHANNA. Hold on, I spelled that wrong. Yeah, I spelled that wrong. Salaki. Let me see something. YAHANNA, which is Jacob, right? And it means supplanter. So James' name is YAHANNA, right? Which is Jacob or supplanter, right? Because we got to understand. Now, who can tell me this, right? What was the New Testament written in before it was translated into English? Ashar Shabbat, man, happy Sabbath. Ashar is happy. Go ahead.
Was it Assyrian Hebrew?
Not Assyrian. What was the captivity that Christ and them was under during the time of the New Testament? Greek. Remember, we was under the Greco-Roman Empire. You understand what I'm saying? So we were speaking Greek during that time, which is also, when you think about it, right? It even tells you, I think, was it Timothy? Was a Greek, if I'm not mistaken. But that's why, you understand, when it was talking about Paul, he was a Roman. You understand? But it also, he gave his registry of who he was, which is again why the Christian church, when they talk about what Paul did in his ministry and the people that he's going to, they would say that Paul went to the Greeks, which is he did. But these Greeks was in different cities, or Salakia, these Romans was in Salakia, these Israelites was in different cities. Like the book of Rome or Romans is written to blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people that was scattered in Rome. The book of Corinth was written to the ones that was in Corinth, so forth and so on. You understand what I'm saying? So when we talk about the Gentiles, then those Gentiles would be these nations or these Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people that took on the customs of these other nations, right? So it was Greek. You understand? Give me a 1W in the chat if y'all written this down so we can go ahead and move on. Y'all Tawab in here? Y'all got it written down? I know y'all write fast. You understand what I'm saying? So we got Peter going back at the top. We got Peter. You understand? We got, well, Peter is a bun, is stone, which means stone. I always tell the Muslims this. So if y'all see a Muslim, well, y'all don't have to say it, but I say this, right? I say, Alaka a bun, right? Meaning your God is a stone. Alaka a bun, right? That's what we tell the Muslims, because you know they walk around a rock 7 times and kiss it. But anyway, so with Peter, like it says, a bun, which is stone. And I put Andrews. Good night. Andrew. Black people always putting a damn S on the damn book in the Bible, ain't they? Andrew is Batak, right? Which is security. James is Yaquab, which is either it means Jacob and supplanter. All right. Another brother. You understand that was a mighty man in the truth, man. You understand? When you think about it, all these brothers, you understand, were followers of Christ. You understand? And I always use this scripture right here, right? Because when it comes to they trying to say Jesus was not the son of Joseph, right? He was not the biological son, because you got some liars that say, oh, he was the stepson of Joseph. Well, I don't see no scripture that says that, right? But I always use where we was just at in John the 1st chapter in the 45th verse, right? It says, you understand, that Philip, or in the thing you said, we found in him of who Moses spoke about, Jesus, son of Nazareth, son of Joseph. You understand? And I always ask these Christians about that scripture. Because we can go to Matthew 1, you understand? But of course they don't understand it, right? But with that being said, like I said, I always ask them about that scripture, and they can never deal with that scripture. They always mumbo jumbo or do what I call the Christian shuffle. So, So we got Philip. All right. Philip is the next. Some brothers be writing they characters differently, boy. You got me questioning my word. Hold on. This is how he wrote the pie. That part look different. All right. So Philip's name is Parash. I was gonna have you go keep reading the scriptures out about the brothers in and Kevin, but we ain't gonna worry about it. So we got Parash. Which means horseman. That brother had to be a strong brother. He was named Horseman. Good night. Parash. The next brother is Bartholomew. So Bartholomew's name is Bar. Bartholomew, right? Which means son of Talmud, right? I'm gonna show you something, right? The bar here, the bar is son, which is why I wrote it like that. You understand? To show y'all, like the bar in Bartholomew means son of Ptolemy or Ptolemy. Is hieroglyphs a language? I don't know. I'm not sure. That's talking. You talking about them Egyptians? Right. I think that is how they told stories. It says, no, hieroglyphs are not a language. They are a writing system used to represent the ancient Egyptian letter. What? That was so oxymoronish. Yo, Google is stupid. Yeah, right. Hold on, but bruh, the oppressor is the goddamn devil the Bible speak of, man. I said, is hieroglyph a language? It says, no, hieroglyphs are not a language. They are a written system. That's language without even me reading the rest of it. Used to represent the Egyptian language. What? What the hell? What the hell on? What the hell on? Because what are we talking about? Good night. Anyway, all right. Thomas. Right, exactly. I thought I was saying, yes, that's their form of Hebrew. Now this one, right, Thomas. Y'all gonna like this for what they call. We don't like the word, but you YNs out there. Ain't know what to say. You understand? Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Give me a second. I gotta see something. Um. Okay, I think you just. All right. Okay, so the the which means twin. What's up, twin? I know what they say. Or this ain't what the youngest say. What's up, twin? Hey, yo, twin. Twin. What's up, twin? I don't even know why. Why they gotta be a twin? I don't know. All right. So now we know twin is the arm, right? So reviewing, we got Philip, which is Parash, which means horseman. We got Bartholomew, which is Ptolemy, which means son of Ptolemy, right? Then we got Thomas, which is Tha'am, which means twin. All right. Moving on. I know what Jim I have to say. Moving on. All right. So the next one will be Matthew. Matthew is
Salaki. Isn't Matthew Mattathiah?
Said it again.
Isn't Matthew Mattathiah or
There is a Mattathias, but in this one, I think that's a different one. Hold on. So Mattathias is the Mattathias, I think, is the it says what I'm looking at when you look at it in the blue letter, which is crazy word. The Mattathias is the Greek for his name. Mattathias. Yeah, like I don't know if y'all can see that. You get the picture. But if you look it up on the blue letter, his the Greek name for him was Mattathias. But if I'm not mistaken, there is a Mattathias too. So I would have to check that, Yamaka. But that is a good what's the word I'm looking for? Hypotenuse. Not hypotenuse. What's the joke when they say educated guess? What's it called? Is it hypotenuse?
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis. God damn. I need to go back to school, huh? Good night. Hypothesis. So, but nah, his is Moth Yawa. No, boy. She realized she could talk and say, "Oh, really?" That's how I know it be out of all. You already know. Moth Yawa, all right? Moth Yawa, which means gift of the Most High. TMH means the Most High. Now, so there's another James, right? Like I said, one was his Christ's brother, and then the other one was just another James. Just like, for example, you know, Jesus was not just like there was other names, brothers named Jesus. Like, for example, you understand Joshua name is Yahweh Shai as well. You understand what I'm saying? Then in the Apocrypha, I think it talks about Bar Jesus or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. You understand? So you got James, and this is James Zebedee. So we already know his name was Yaquab, right? I'll still write it so we know, but it's Yaquab, but yeah. You don't gotta erase the Yaquab part. I'm just making it where it's easier for me to write on this board. So it'll be Yaquab Zabadai or Zabadai Salaki, which means endowment. Yaquab Zabadai, which means endowment. And we have John. So then we got John, which is YAHANNA, which means the Most High is gracious. So with this one, James Zebedee, you got Yaquab Zebediah, which means endowment, right? Matthew, which is Mathyawa, which means gift of the Most High. And then John, which is YAHANNA, which means the Most High is gracious. All right, we got this down. Said bar is Aramaic for son. Okay. Or Aramaic, not Aramaic. All right, so the next one will be Simon. Next one will be Simon, right? Which is Shemaiwan. Shemaiwan, which means to hear. Let me ask y'all this. Who was the man? Okay, never mind. I ain't gonna ask that yet. Hold on. Judas, which is Yehowadah. So Judas is basically how they said Judah in Greek. Right? Then the next one will be. Okay. Now that's the one I was gonna ask. Who was the man that betrayed Christ? Y'all can answer, and here y'all can answer online. What was the man's name that betrayed Christ?
Judah.
Close. Are you saying it because of that? Okay. You know, Christ was from the tribe of Judah, but it's a man named that betrayed Christ. Who? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the beginning of his name. What's the last part? Because there's two Judases. That's why I'm saying that. There's two Judases. So you got Judas, right? That was just Judah. His name was just Judah or YAHANNA. But then you had another brother, which was Judas, but it was a different Judas. Yeah, I'll get this. Y'all, I'll tell y'all this. Y'all like, oh. Well, it look like y'all scratching them heads, boy. What I was like, I say them crinkles. Y'all got it? Judas. I think, a matter of fact, well, he ended up not purchasing. Did it say he purchased the field? But he ended up, he was so guilty of what he did. I don't know if he hung himself or unalived himself. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it said, well, he fell from where he was unalive and his head burst open or something like that. He got it bad. You know what I'm saying? But this is the man, like, where what I learned in Hebrew Academy, but I'll never forget this. I was talking to Officer Bonkiar, right? You understand? And he was telling me about this brother that did that to Christ. But Christ knew that, you understand, he was going to do this because, you understand, he even said there was going to be one that betrayed me. Give me Matthew, that don't tell you who. Give me Mark 3:19.
What was the question?
Who was the man that betrayed Christ?
Judas.
Yes, Judas who? Everybody get that first word right, but there's a distinction between the Judases. That's why I'm saying that, because we don't want to just say Judas, because it's like, which Judas? Because is this the Judas that we talk about? Exactly. You can read it when you get it. It's Mark 3:19. Read that out loud when you get it, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
And Judas
Iscariot. Now, who betrayed Christ?
Judas Iscariot.
Keep reading.
Which also betrayed him.
Who is the him right there?
Yahweh.
Thank you. Read on.
And they went into an house.
So yeah, Judas Iscariot had this thing, you understand, with the Romans, right? He went to the Romans and he said, the man that I kiss upon the cheek, that's Yahweh Shah. Ain't that a goddamn traitor, man? Now, we're not talking about literally kiss, right? But we're talking about the holy kiss that we do. You understand what I'm saying? A salute that he did with Yahweh Shah. You understand? So the man that betrayed Christ was Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot, right? So I don't need to write the Judas part because I got the Judas part already up there. So we're gonna write what Iscariot means. All right, so we got Judas Iscariot. Not Iscariot, Iscariot. So Judas's whole name, right? Judas Iscariot whole name would be Yahawada Ayash Kwar Yawath, right? Let me clear this up for a special someone that's probably trying to take a picture. She's gonna be like, "Oh, I couldn't take a picture. I can't understand." Kwar Yawath, meaning Yahawada Ayash Kwar Yawath, meaning Judah, the man of Kerioth, right? Or I could say Quadam Ayash Fayetteville. You understand? Quadam, man of Fayetteville. All right. Judas Iscariot is Yahawada Ayash Kwaryath. It's like a Kwaryawath. You understand? I didn't write the Judas, I meant the Yahawada part up there because we already got what Judas means. Oh, I see what you said. Yeah. Yep, good catch. What's up, girl? Give my sister a hand, man. It's a lock here. Y'all scholars supposed to be getting me right. You know what I mean? But she did. She was saying the Wa and the Na and Simon, Shemaywan, supposed to be connected. But this is what I was talking about, y'all. Right? Remember we was talking about this last week. The week before last with the right? Even though you see the A and the I, right? That A don't drop off because that A is not at the end of a word. And we're not going to drop, there's no A at the end of I. It's just I. So it makes it my, M-A-I, instead of M-A, M-I, Salakia. Because I used to write it Shemai, S-H-A-M-I. But this is the proper way to write it. Shemaiwan. I think that's the last bit. So allow y'all to finish writing this up, right? That actually went quicker than I thought it would. So the 12 disciples that we have, right? We have Peter, Andrew, James, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, James, Zebedee. Then we had John, Simon, Judas, and Judas Iscariot, right? With that, I'm gonna pass the class off to the priest and officer of 1,000. Also, I thanks to the kid announcers, man. Clap it up.
I.S.U.P.K security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits. For 6 months, they are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which your brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, my I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, get a treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for a priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We are in the Feast of Tabernacles, 15th day of the 7th month for 8 days. We started Sunday the 5th until Monday the 13th. You can read about that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 34 through 44. And that the feast is a closing. We will have a closing too here at the Fayetteville school. If anyone wants to come and troop in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, scarf. With that, I'm modern. We stand. And Israel going to run a one curse salute to the teacher. And Israel, my spot. Modern, rock. YAHANNA, YAHANNA. YAHANNA, hands down. Sorry, turn the face to sisters. I'm modern. We stand. Israel going to run a one person salute to the sisters. Man, Israel, my Shabbat, Madi, Barak, YAHANNA, YAHANNA. YAHANNA, hands down. God dismiss. I couldn't talk. Good night. Fumbling all over my words.